Well, it's hard to believe this year marks the 20th anniversary of the Fringe Festival right here in Ottawa. 20 years already, 2 decades. That's very impressive. With us right now, the festival director, Patrick Gauthier. Hello, Patrick.
Hello.
We also have let's see, you are with a whole bunch of things here at Franco Pang, but most importantly, co-founder and producer of the Floral Theatre. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
We'll talk about what you're doing at the Fringe Festival, but first, Patrick, 20 years already.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's an independent arts organization. We've been around for 20 years, and, you know, it's great that, you know, supporting, the Fringe has been able to support independent artists in Ottawa since 1997.
That's incredible. So what exactly is the Fringe Festival?
So it's Ottawa's largest theatre festival. This year we have 57 shows in 12 venues over 11 days, 360-something performances.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That really is a lot. So how do you find the time to manage that many performances? Like, it's got to be stressful.
Yeah, well, we have a big team, big staff, and a huge volunteer base, actually, with 250 volunteers that help keep the festival running, that we actually could not do the festival without them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do we do we choose? Because there's got to be, even though there's so many involved, there's still going to be a whole bunch that would like to be involved. So how do we figure out who is part of the lineup every year?
Well, we get about 200 applications, and admission is determined via lottery. So anyone can do a show. You want to do a show, Frank wants to do a show, all you have to do is put your name in, and we draw names out of a hat, and those people are in.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then how long does it take for that process?
Our lottery is in December, and then once that happens, things happen very quickly because we need information about the shows and what venue, the technical information, so we put them in the correct venue,
okay.
Program information, so we can put our program out and get stuff on the website and start selling tickets.
Okay. So we'll talk about some of the highlights that are coming up, but every show is a highlight, of course.
Of
right?
course.
But since Franco's here, I mean, let's talk about what you're up to. So the Floral Theatre, how long has that been around for at this point?
It literally just popped up for the Fringe Festival at the moment, so it started about in November, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you managed to get some stuff together because so the show is called 3 to Leave?
Yes.
Okay, so what is this all about?
3 to Leave sort of follows 3 teenagers who are leaving high school, and it's sort of following their independent journeys as they're going from being in high school to moving away, and they used to be very close friends. So we sort of explore like sort of what happens when you grow apart from friendships naturally and close things like that.
Okay. And how long did it take to put that to production together?
We're still in the process of it.
Still in the process, really?
We just had our closed dress rehearsal yesterday, which went very well. But we're still fine-tuning some things, I think, up until our first show. Okay,
because June 8th is when this Fringe Festival kicks off. But I mean, your first show is the 10th, so you have a couple extra days.
Yeah.
So you're good there, for sure. Okay, so Patrick, let's talk about some of the other themes, genres. Like, what can we look forward to?
Well, because the show's programmed via lottery, we have no control over it. So really what artists are interested in doing is what ends up being on stage at the Fringe. So this year we have 37 genres, I think.
Wow.
Comedy, music, dance, musical comedy, stand-up comedy, improv. We have we have a bunch of Shakespeare plays this year. We have some more experimental stuff. We have site-specific shows that take place like outside of a theater.
Okay. Okay. I'm interested though. What do you mean by experimental stuff?
Oh, we have. I mean, artists who are trying things that aren't necessarily narrative-based. They might be more multimedia-based. They might be more episodic in nature.
Okay.
But they're artists who are kind of taking risks because. The Fringe, we keep ticket prices low, they're $12, and most shows are 60 minutes or less. It gives artists a chance that they can experiment, and then it's low risk for audience as well, because if the show ends up, you know, not quite working, there's still, you know, it's only an hour of time and only $12 investment.
Okay, how did you two collaborate? How did you get on board with each other?
Oh,
like,
well,
were you part of the lottery as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as simple as that?
As simple as that. Frank went to the lottery and I pulled his name out.
So, I mean, Franco, this must be a huge way for you to meet new friends, make new acquaintances, connections.
Definitely. There's a very large network of people, of Fringe artists in Ottawa, so we meet up. There are workshops that the Fringe holds on to help new producers and companies sort of learn what the Fringe is about. So we meet artists from there and share informations, and through this I've been invited to workshops of other Fringe shows going on, which have been really amazing.
Yeah.
And you just get to know a lot of people, and then after the Fringe shows there's sort of a social, after each night there's sort of a social area at the where people can sort of just meet and mingle and sort of connect with each other.
And talk about how their shows went.
Yeah.
All right. And Patrick, I mean, obviously with this many people, how do you figure out the schedule? That's got to be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, it's a huge process. It's a 2-week, almost a month-long process. Actually, we look at when the artists are coming, when they're available, what venues they're going to be in, and everyone gets six to 10 performances depending on the show. And when we're putting the schedule together, we try to balance those out so everyone has a kind of equal number of matinee performances, evening performances, late night performances, that sort of thing.
Well, clearly as the director, you're there for the whole 11 days, but Franco, you're also there for the whole 11 days, because not only are you taking part in Three to Leave, but you're taking part in a house show that's going to be happening. Is that nightly?
Yes, it's running for, I think, 10 out of the 11 days. So we've got late night shows, matinees, evening shows.
So what is this then exactly, this house show? What is this?
So a house show is basically the site-specific theater. So I collaborate with a bunch of other theater companies such as Second Step, Amped Up Theater, Two Kind Boys, Push, and we sort of made like a temporary company called, 2 Second Push Up, I believe.
Wow.
Or something like that.
Collaboration there,
it's tough to remember, yeah. And some of the artists actually live in a student housing, so for the show we decided to stage the entire thing in it. So we've created a sort of series of, we created this immersive theater experience for people to go to, actually enter a house and walk through and see all sorts of different styles of theater.
Have we had it approved by the homeowners yet? Like, are they like, not, people aren't just going to start walking through my house?
Yeah, hopefully, you know, we've got, there have been instances for some of the shows where people on the street actually thought I was like trespassing. They're sort of yelling at me during our rehearsal, so it's been interesting. Yeah.
If they leave potato chips, they can walk through my house. Okay. Like any good party. OttawaFringe.com is the best place to go.
Absolutely.
For all the details, ticket information, the lineup, and everything. And it kicks off on the 8th to the 18th. Where are the locations, by the way?
We're centered around Arts Court in the north end of the University of Ottawa campus, but we have venues all across downtown Rideau.
Amazing. Patrick and Franco, thank you very much for being here, and best of luck with the 20th anniversary of the Ottawa Fringe Festival.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coming up, hey, this weekend, guess what? It's Veg Fest, and we have some amazing people on the show next to talk about Veg Fest.